Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all having an amazing Friday. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Carly Bell, and I love to do machine embroidery tutorials where we get together the third Friday of every month for something called Sip and Stitch. I'm still sipping on my coffee from this morning, but good afternoon. It's hard for me to not say good morning because I changed the time for today. So good afternoon. It's after lunch, or at least here in Louisiana. It is 12 o'clock. It's lunchtime. So thank you for everyone who's joining live today. Hi, Claire and Norma and Patty. I see a couple people saying that y'all saw my demo. So the reason why I'm normally here 10:30 in the morning Central Time, but at 10:30 this morning, I was doing a live demo for my friends over at Sewing Machines Plus. They are doing their countdown to Christmas show all this week, and I showed off the machine that I'll actually be using in my tutorial today. So thank y'all for the ones that tuned in and watched my demo. So hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Hanukkah. Yay. Simone is excited. I'm excited too. All right. So So welcome everyone. It is December. It is crunch time. I am still making Christmas presents. And the thing I'm making today will be a Christmas present as well. So I always try to make sure my tutorials coincide with what I need to make right now because it really helps me get it done. But I'm very excited about today's project because I'm using a brand new machine. And it's not only is it new, but it looks totally different. It doesn't look like any of my other embroidery machines. So I'm very excited about it and its functionality. And so that's what I'm going to be showing off today. And we are going to be making a baby onesie. So let me quickly, I'm trying to think, do I have any announcements I need to make before we get started? I don't think so. I don't think so. We're making Christmas presents. I do maybe we'll have one more video before Christmas because I still haven't made my tree skirt for December, my design from Collectible Christmas. Each month I get a piece of a wedge that will eventually be turned into a tree skirt. And there's a beautiful embroidery design that we put on it every month. So I haven't done my December Collectible Christmas yet. So maybe I will do that next week while the kids are home. But that's probably going to be it. And then if you're in my VIP membership group, we will be having our monthly Zoom class the week after Christmas. Well, actually the Wednesday after Christmas, because Christmas, or is it Thursday? Christmas falls on a Monday. I scheduled it. I posted it in our VIP membership private Facebook group and in the member portal. I think it's Thursday. I scheduled it for Thursday. But stay tuned to the member portal and the Facebook group for that. We'll be having our monthly class after we've recovered from Christmas. Oh, I do have another exciting thing that is coming soon, and I have a link for you down below. So I introduced my first online course this year, which is called From Start to Stitch. It's a beginner course for machine embroidery. It's everything I wish someone would have held my hand and taught me when I got my first small flatbed embroidery machine. And I put so much into it, and it's everything that I wish, like I said, that I had. And it's been beautiful. I love all the students that have enrolled in the course. It's helped so many people. I'm so happy about it. And so, but one of the first questions I got after I announced that course was, well, are you going to make a course for Embrilliance? And so I'm like, yes, just give me time. So it is in process as we speak. So my goal is to have it right at the beginning of the new year, but no set date yet. However, if you are interested in learning all the basics of Embrilliance Essentials, that beginner embroidery software program that I recommend for all of my students, I am putting together a very detailed course taking you step by step through all of the features of the program and project examples and really diving deep into it. If that is something you're interested in, I do have a wait list linked below. So you can put your name and email, and what that's going to do is get you on a special list so that when the course does open, and it's going to be limited enrollment. I like to do something special for my first set of students. So I call y'all my founding students. We do something special with them, and it's a lot more interactive. So my first set of students, the enrollment window is going to be a set time. You're not going to be able to buy it again until we've gone through about 3 months of working through the course. And then the price is also going to go up. So if you want to be in that first group of students, sign up for the wait list. You will get emailed as soon as the course opens for enrollment. So if you're interested, you can sign up. So that was my big announcement. I knew I had something to talk about. So, okay. Other than that, today we are going to be embroidering a applique baby onesie. I found the cutest design. I've been wanting to stitch this for such a long time. And it just so happens it works out perfectly because my little cousin had a baby boy, and my cousin is like, they're obsessed with cars. They go to all the car shows. They like to refurbish cars and all that stuff. So my friend Joy at Applique, Alphalicious, she has always made these cute designs where it involves, you remember the cute little red car with the yellow top? I think I had one as a kid. My kids had one. I think it's called a cozy coupe. She has the most adorable designs with the little red car with the yellow roof. And one of them is it with Christmas lights wrapped all around it. So I thought that would be perfect for my little cousin. So that's what we're going to be stitching today on a baby onesie on the new fancy 4x4 machine from Brother. So I have all the info on the project on the Sip and Stitch homepage. So on the Sip and Stitch homepage, you'll see links to everything. The design, we got a coupon code. Joy was nice enough to give us a coupon code, for this design, where I got my onesies from, all my stabilizers, my scissors, the machine, all the things. So that's always my go-to place to tell people to find all the info. I do have links, I think, to almost everything in the description underneath the video. Like if you're watching on YouTube, you click that little see more button. So you can see everything under there. But so those are the things I want to tell you. The design, let me show you. I have it printed out. Can you see that? How cute is that? Isn't that adorable? So Joy has it to where it comes in 3 different finishes. So this is an applique, and I'm going to go through all the steps of applique with y'all. And what I chose is the blanket stitch finish. I haven't done a blanket stitch in a while, and I really like them. She also has a zigzag stitch option and a bean stitch option. So when you click the link to bring you to the design, it's going to bring you to a page that has all 3 options. The coupon code is good for any of those 3 cozy coupes. So the coupon code is only good for one of the these designs with any of the 3 finishes, and the coupon will get you 50% off of the price. And then y'all need to follow Joy because she does have awesome sales, and she has a great Facebook group, and she has like this membership I'm thinking about signing up for, where it's kind of like Creative Fabrica, where I can just pay a monthly fee, and I can download any of her designs on her site. So I'm thinking about joining that because I mean, all you got to do is want 2 designs, and it's worth the membership price. So I think I might sign up for that. But that is the special Joy gave us, so we could get 50% off this design in any of the 3 finishes. And what else is in the description? I have a link to the onesies I'm using, which I got from Angela Jasmina on YouTube. She's like one of my inspirations. She has her own blanks company called AJ Blanks. I got some onesies from her. And then the machine. So let's start talking. I'm sorry, I have not been paying attention to the chat at all, but everybody's like, yay, looking forward. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the class. So I've been working really hard on it. I still have a lot of work left to do, but it's coming. It's coming. I was showing my VIP membership group like the full outline for the class, like all the lessons, everything that's going to be included, and they are excited because I think I'm covering a lot of ground. So this is not a coffee maker. This is a new embroidery machine. This is the new Brother Skitch. It is totally reimagined, redesigned. I think it's amazing so far. It's just the whole concept of it is so awesome. It is, however, a 4x4 embroidery machine. So normally I tell my people, if you're just starting out with embroidery, get yourself at least a 5x7 hoop. You're going to want a bigger hoop. However, this machine is an exception because of some of the really special things about it, including what you can see here is a free arm. And so one of the things I hated doing on my flatbed embroidery machine when I first got it was baby onesies. Okay. And this machine takes all that frustration away. And honestly, it's worth it just to do onesies on. But remember, you are limited to a 4x4 hoop. Let's see. Oh, I'm checking the chat. So Linda must have watched my SMP. Okay, she said, I need to say you saved a lot of arguments saying that the iPad could go between for Artspira since my 6 needle does not have Wi-Fi. There you go. Now, if your 6 needle doesn't have Wi-Fi, I don't know if you can use the Artspira app on it, right? This machine is a little bit different in that it is Bluetooth connected. So from my understanding, the designs are not transferred in our typical wireless network we have in our house, but just through the Bluetooth connectivity between your device, whether it be a phone or an iPad, and the machine. So I'm going to go through all of this with you. If you watched earlier my SMP countdown to Christmas demo, there might be some repeating going on here because I want to make sure everybody has all the info on this machine. So first off, it's a 4x4 hoop. However, you do get a magnetic 4x4 hoop, which I think is really awesome. This is the first time I've used a Brother brand magnetic hoop, and it is very nice. I will say though, the magnets are strong, but they're not as strong as like my Mighty hoops or my new Durkee magnetic hoops, which in some cases is good because those magnetic frames can sometimes be really scary with as far as like snapping your fingers in between things. This might be, now I haven't used one of the dime magnetic hoops before, so I don't know how strong those magnets are, but I like it in that it's strong, but I'm not scared like my finger is here. I'm not scared of hurting myself with them, but it does come with a magnetic hoop and it is the traditional 4x4 size, which when you really measure it, it's like a smidge less than 4 inches. It's like 3.96 or something like that. It's 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. So that is the hoop that's going to come with it. The next big thing that you notice right off of the bat is it has a free arm. I had to upgrade to a $5,000 machine in order to get a free arm. So for the fact that they're offering this in a 4x4 machine that costs less than $500 is amazing in my opinion. So free arm. This is going to allow you to hoop and embroider things like toddler t-shirts, baby onesies, little cosmetic bags. I haven't done it yet, but possibly sleeves of our sweatshirts like we did earlier without having to open up the seam. Pockets, you know, as long as it can fit in the free arm, just like, and it's the same size free arm, I would say, as my 6 needle and my PR1X. I'm looking at it right now. It's like right across from me. The free arm size is the same. I can get out my measuring tape. It might be a smidge wider, but it's not, I had someone on the S&P say that it looked pretty bulky. It's not significantly bulkier than my multi-needle machines. I would say it's very comparable in size. So the free arm, huge. Another nice feature of this that I did not have with my small flatbed machine is that it also cuts jump stitches. So magnetic frame, free arm, cuts cuts jump stitches for under $500. I mean, that's amazing. Now, do I hope they come out with a 5x7 version of this machine? Absolutely. No telling when they're going to do that though, but I hope they do. Now, the one big caveat that I think throws people off with this machine and makes them worried is that it does not have a USB stick. Okay. Everything is done wirelessly with sending the design to the machine. You notice there's no interface on it. All there is accept buttons, needle up, down, cut, and start and stop. And then there's a Bluetooth button at the top. That's your only buttons on it. So there's no interface on here. I'm not going to see my design. I'm not going to, move it around or do anything on here. Everything is going to be done with either your phone or your tablet. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. Some other features. Oh, I wanted to tell you. So the machine comes with a 4x4 hoop, but there is an optional 3" by 3" hoop that you can purchase separately to get into those smaller places. Like this is the one I'm going to play with on the sleeve of my sweatshirts to see if I can embroider them without ripping the seam open. So 3x3, 4x4. These are the only hoops that are available with this machine at this time. It only came out a month ago. I do predict that they're going to come out with more options later. I think both I would really like them to see them come out with like the 2.5 by 1.5, like we have on some of our machines, size frame. And I wouldn't be surprised if Durkee came out with something that fits this machine, because it would be nice. We can possibly have a little easy frame on here. It might not be a situation maybe where there's an adapter like our big machines, but I think some easy frames on here would be nice as well. One good thing with these frames though is that they're very flat. Notice after they're done. So it is no problem to just hoop some stabilizer and float something onto it. And then I can treat it like an easy frame where I can clip my item to the frame to make sure that it's nice and secure, or use some sticky stabilizer or spray adhesive, but we can still float on this machine as well. All right, let me check the chat. Okay. All right, y'all just let me know if you ask a question and I don't answer it or see it, just post it again, because it's hard for me to keep up with it. But just post it again if you have a question. But right now I don't think I see any. Okay, no. Oh, yeah. Walk by Faith says this machine will be awesome for making dinner napkins. Absolutely. So when I did my S&P demo this morning, I went through all of the things that you can make with a 4x4 machine. So there are so many little projects. So, thinking small scale. Now, onesies that's my go-to there. On onesies, I typically keep a 4x4 design up until probably 9 months, maybe 12 months. It depends on the design. And maybe a 12-month toddler t-shirt. Again, depends on the design. But then once you get up into those bigger toddler t-shirts, the 4x4 design looks a little small for the shirt. However, I love a cute little upper left chest design on a toddler t-shirt. I think that is precious, both for little boys and little girls. So you can still keep using that 4x4 hoop on those bigger shirts, but just reimagine the kind of overall look you want and think about those upper left chest designs or little pocket designs that would be cute on those little kids shirts. And then of course you can do those on adult shirts as well. You have that free arm, so you're not going to be worried about all that material getting in the way and possibly stitching to itself. I could have this on my craft table, have all the rest of the adult size shirt, just laying and hooping it through the neck hole or wherever, and all that extra material just stays out of my way, and I don't have to worry about messing something up. Because I know that's what we do. We embroider and the whole time we're like, don't mess up, don't mess up. All right. So, okay. So Norma's asking if pricing was an issue, would you get this or the single needle brother or baby lock? So are you talking about a flatbed single needle? Are you talking like a traditional brother 4x4 flatbed machine versus this one? Because if that's the case, then yes, I would get this one over the traditional flatbed 4x4 machine. And then for my friends that already have like beautiful large embroidery machines, flatbed embroidery machines like a Pathfinder, a Stellaire, a Luminaire, um, all of those big, nice embroidery machines that have giant hoops, but you want to do onesies, I would get this machine just for that capability, just for those projects that I know is a 4x4 hoop size, and a free arm would make my life so much easier. Okay, so no, Norma is asking comparing this to like a multi-needle machine. This is where I'm going to tell you price difference is humongous. This machine is under $5,000. When you're talking about a multi-needle machine, you're looking at 10,000 plus. So that is where budget really comes into play. Under $500, over $10,000. Now, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck with a multi-needle machine. You're getting an enormous hoop size. You're getting multiple needles. You're getting all the bells and whistles on the screen. And as far as like placement and lasers and all that fun stuff. So it really depends on what you want to do and the ability to do hats. With this machine, there's no cap driver for it. So even though it does have a free arm as of right now, there's no cap driver feature. I honestly don't see that happening if I were predicting. However, we can still embroider a hat on it just like we've done in the past on our flatbed machines using soft hats. So that is something. Can I do a canvas bag with this? Yes, you can. So Christy's saying, sorry, she missed the hoop size. So the hoop size is small. It is 4x4 inches. Okay. Lisa says she loves my earrings. Thank you. Target. All right. Okay. So any more questions about the machine? If not, we're going to start jumping into the project, and then you could see it in action and I can answer questions as it's stitching as well. All right. So what we're doing today, let's go over to the craft table, is this cute little applique cozy coupe design. And I got some onesies. So I got these from AJ Blanks, and I got white, gray, and black. So I was playing with it earlier. So this white onesie already has marks on it, but you know how babies always have spit up or something going on? I know as a mom, I would rather things not be white because it never fails that they're going to stain it. Now the gray would hide a stain a little bit better. And then of course, black will always help hide a stain. The only thing with black is then I wouldn't do the wheels and the steering wheel and the strings part in black. I'd do it in a different color. So I'm thinking gray for today. So I am going to pull that out. And I already picked my fabrics. So I'm going to do the car in red, the top of the car in yellow. I got little black pieces for the wheels. So it's 4 pieces of applique total. And then the rest is thread. And I got all my thread colors here on the side for, the red for that, the yellow, black, and then the rest is all for the lights. I think I'm going to do the name in white because I think the white will show up nicely over the red. What do y'all think about that? I think either white, black, maybe even the yellow would look cute, or even green. I don't know. His name would be cute in a bunch of different colors probably. But we can decide that like at the end of it stitching, and just whatever color I load, that's going to be the name. So, all right. So Lisa has a question. So you have to have the iPad for this machine. have to have either a phone or a tablet. It can be Apple, it can be Android. As long as it has the ability to access the Apple App Store or the Google Play App Store, you can download it to your device. So I have it both on my phone and on my iPad. I'm going to be showing y'all on my iPad today. So that is the way, that is the only way to get the design onto the machine, is through either a phone or a tablet. Now, did I make this design on my computer? Yes, I made it in Embrilliance. I opened the design in Embrilliance. I used a BX font, which I'll have to go look on my computer to tell you which one I use because I don't remember now. But I situated all of this in Embrilliance and then I printed it out in Embrilliance. Then I saved it and I open it within the app. And I'm going to go through all of that for y'all. So let's get the shirt ready. And then I'm going to bring my iPad right here so y'all can see everything. So we're going to do this. Now, some other cool things I want to show you, which is why I was playing with this one earlier, is on the hoop, you'll notice this has registration marks. This works like the hoops on my Stellaire. That means I could take a picture of it and see right where my design is going to go, and if I like where it's placed, how after I've hooped it. So if I hoop my onesie all crooked, I could make my design stitch so that the design will be straight, even though I hooped it crooked. So I'm going to show you how you can do that too. And that is done through the app as well. All right. So we have our little shirt. Let me turn my iron back on. And I got my stabilizer. So for stabilizer, one thing I think does make life a lot easier with these hoops is using a fusible stabilizer. So I'm going to be using the fusible no-show cutaway stabilizer. Sometimes in the past, I've done one layer of fusible mesh no-show cutaway and one layer of fusible tearaway. Or you can just use 2 layers of fusible no-show. Now, these onesies are much better quality than my Gerber onesies. So like these are a lot thinner. I use 2 layers of poly mesh no-show on this onesie. And then like this is an old onesie. I think I did 1 layer of poly mesh, 1 layer of tearaway. This onesie is a little bit heavier weight, thicker fabric than the Gerber and the Carter onesies. So you might be able to get away with just 1 layer of poly mesh no-show, but I'm just going to do 2 to be safe. This is not a super dense design, but it's possible that those little lights can be some heavy stitching in those places, and I don't want any puckering to happen. So I'd always rather have too much stabilizer than not enough stabilizer. All right, so my little iron is ready. I'm just going to preheat that up, get any wrinkles out. And if we want, we can go ahead and sometimes I do the placement first and then I iron the stabilizer. But as long as you want to cut your pieces of stabilizer so that they're bigger than the hoop. So this is, you know, bigger than the actual design. Let's see, can I get 2 pieces? I think I can. So what I'm going to do, because I'm doing 2 layers, as long as 1 layer is bigger than the hoop, the other one might not necessarily need to be. I know that's what I used to do when I did the onesies on my flatbed machine. Wait, I did not cut this good at all, did I? Let me just redo this. And then also, this is a lot bigger than what's actually going to fit in the area inside. But if I do this, I'd have to get it ironed in just the right spot. I'm going to save this for something else. Let's cut another piece. Okay. I always save my scraps because I know I can use it for something later on. So I'm going to save those. All right, so I got my 2 pieces of stabilizer. And one thing I'm going to say with these magnetic hoops, watch where you're putting them. I'm trying to keep it away from my laptop and away from my phone. Also, there's a warning. I don't know about with these, but like with the really strong magnetic ones, like the Durkee ones and Mighty hoops, if you have a pacemaker, you don't want to mess with those. Those magnets are not as strong, but Nola, it does say it has a little heart X symbol here. So just be careful with them. Now these onesies have 2 little snaps at the top, which is nice and allows me to actually, I'm going to put the hoop through the neck hole on this one because I have the, when I unsnap those, it gives me the room I need. All right. So Selena asks, does the fusible no-show shrink when you wash? I have had good luck with this brand. Another brand on Amazon I've seen shrinking with, but the Stay Perfect brand I've had good luck with. One way that you can test it is cut yourself out. Like these 2 are not like equal size, but if I put them and I cut an equal size, and then just take the loose one and put it in the wash with your clothes and put it through the dryer, and then come back to the one you didn't wash and hold them up next to each other and see how much shrinkage you have occurring. So that is something that you can do to check and see if the stabilizer you have at home is shrinking a lot, because what happens when it shrinks in the wash is it causes a lot of wrinkling and puckering on the front of your shirt. You can try to iron it out. I've done it with the heat press and stuff before where it's helped me, but that's a way you can check and see if your particular fusible mesh at home doesn't shrink. So you see, I'm going above the neckline because I know I'm going to be hooping more up there. And it doesn't all have to be, but you really just want to focus on the area where you know the design is going to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this other piece and do the same thing. Okay. Now we want to figure out placement. And you have a few options. One thing, though, is that these hoops don't come with a grid like my traditional embroidery hoops do. So I have stolen a 4x4 grid from another machine. I'm not sure if you could just buy these. It would be helpful if you could. But I love to use these for placement. Okay, if you don't have one of these and you have in Brilliance Essentials, you can print out the design and see right where you want it to be. Okay, or you can just use a ruler and figure out the center. I usually like to go about 1 inch down from the collar on baby items. So, you know, I wouldn't want the design to be any higher than right here. Usually like a good finger distance from the top of the collar is usually good. So to show you the different ways that the app works with taking a picture in the hoop, I'm going to use my grid and make my marks with that. But I'm just seeing, okay, like this onesie is about 8.5 wide, so that needs to be 4.25. That's where I want my center line. And then if I want that to be about 1 inch below the collar, make sure it's not crooked. I just kind of eyeball it and make sure this line looks good with the shoulders. And then get your fabric erasable marker. And I just poke it through the little holes on here. That's why I love these little grids. I have to look and see if you can buy them by themselves if you don't have hoops. I want to say Sweet Pea makes some rulers that are specific to hoop size that maybe you can get, and that helps with placement. So my marker is going out. So I'm sorry if you can't see that good on camera. I hear Abigail's home. She had a half day from school today. All right, so sorry if you can't see that well. But now you would take your hoop apart and put the bottom piece of the hoop inside the shirt. Now, whatever is more convenient for you, if it's better to go this side and go in, or if the neck hole is big enough, go in through the neck hole. I think about all the stuff that's going to be where the hoop is going to connect to the machine, and that I want the least amount of stuff over here. Hey, boo. You had a good day? Yeah. Can you let Gracie out? I already did. Okay, thanks. She used the bathroom right before I started my video. We're babysitting my dad's dog. And she is a little fluff ball. She's so cute, but she's very feisty. Very, very feisty. And Ozzy, my Yorkie, is he just turned 11. He's the same age as Abigail. And he's like a little old man, and he's like, why is this dog jumping all over me? And the cat wants nothing to do with her, the puppy. All right, so I'm just looking at this. So like I was saying, you want to think about where the hoop connects to the machine. I want to try and have the least amount of stuff over here. If it had, like I did this onesie, I did it the other way because I didn't really try to fit it through here. I could have though, huh? I did it this way, and I was still able to have all of this over here because this part's hanging underneath anyway. So you can do it either way. It really is not that big of a deal. So once you have the bottom piece of the hoop inside the shirt, what I do is I kind of feel and try to center my design. So like I'm feeling the edge, I'm looking at my fingers and these dots, something like that. Okay. And now you're going to take the top part of the hoop, and I think I'm doing this right. You want the warning label to be at the bottom. And you want everything to like not have any wrinkles, and then it just clicks in place. Now you can stretch it a little bit after, but because we have that fusible stabilizer, that really helps from overstretching, so that I won't pull, because this is, stretchy knit fabric. You don't want to overstretch it in your hoop, and then when it stitches and it comes out, it's going to automatically be all puckered. So I like that about the fusible stabilizer. It helps you from overstretching something, but you do want to make sure it's nice and tight like a drum. So this is working great. Now we've got our shirt stabilized. We've got it marked. I know that this is what it's going to look like when it's on there, because these little printouts have crosshair lines, and I can see like this line lines up with this dot, this dot, this dot. So I can see like that's right where my design's going to be. But I like the placement mark for the use of the app. So let me show you how that works. And also let me check the chat because I've been neglecting. Okay, let me go back home. Okay, so that's home. Let me move my stabilizer out the way. Where's the top? All right. Hi from Canada. I'm sorry, I'm scared I'm gonna say your name wrong. The Rockba. I'm scared I'm gonna say it wrong, but hi. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Oh, Norma says there's a flexible ruler at S&P. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that. Krista says she started Frankensteining her stabilizer scraps. Yes, I know people that will take this and just do a zigzag stitch on their sewing machine and make that a nice bigger piece. So yes, you can definitely do that and Frankenstein it, like Krista says. Hi, is this my friend Jennifer Hancock? Because I have a really good friend that lives in Florida named Jennifer Hancock. How are you doing? Okay, I think that was it. Lisa said, do you ever use anything other than Embroidery? I used to use Sew It Pro, but I had a lot of computer mishaps. And with Sew It Pro, At the time, now I think it's still this way, but at the time, it only works on a PC, and you only got 2 installs. So I used an old PC, it died, so then I had to use my second install, and then it died again. And so then I had a Mac that I got after I was done with graduate school, and I was like, "Well, I have to buy new software anyway now." So then I bought Embroiance because it works with Mac. So that's my only experience. And I've also used Chroma that came with my Racoma embroidery machine. But that's more of a digitizing program. Uh, okay. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? First time watching in a long time. Nice to see you. All right, so like I said, this app is from Brother. It's called Art Spira. And let me show you what it looks like when it's just on your pad. So this keeps turning. Can you go this way? This one. So it's just a little white box that says Art Spira. That is what the app looks like. It is free to download. So just go to the App Store, however you do it on your device, and download it for free. Okay. After you download it, you are going to want to have a Brother account and what that's going to do, it's going to save the kinds of things that you do, right? So you want to sign in with your Brother account. What I did was when you make an account or you sign in, it gave you some options of, doing your email and creating a password, or you could sign in. It might have had an option to sign in through Facebook. So it uses your Facebook account to sign in. And there was an option to sign in with Google. So if you have a Gmail account, I could just sign in with my Gmail account. That's what I chose. So whenever I do have to sign into this app, I click my Gmail account. But you want to create yourself an account. That is also free. And that gets you in the app. Now, there is a paid version that is optional that you can get. You do not have to have the paid version to use the app and to send designs to your machine, even designs that are from your computer. Originally, when the app came out and the machine came out, they had it to where you had to have the paid version to upload this design I got online and purchased and opened in Embroiance. I would have had to have the paid version to send it to the app. They changed it. They listened to everyone's complaints because there was a lot of complaining happening. And so you do not need the paid version in order to upload your own design to the app to send to the machine. Okay. So I want to make sure everyone understands that, because some people were under the impression, because that's how it was when it first came out, that you had to have the paid version to even send any designs to the machine. Not that way anymore. So that was a really good move for Brother. Now, with the app, once you've created your account and everything, okay, Claire's saying you can also sign in with Canvas Workspace. So if you have a Brother Scan and Cut and have the Canvas program, you can sign in with that. Great. Thank you for sharing. All right. So once you have the app, there's lots of options in here, because this app works with embroidery machines, cutting machines, and printers, both the sublimation printer and the new Print Moda Studio fabric printer. So this app works with all of those machines. So they're going to have a specific section for embroidery designs, cutting designs, printing designs, sublimation, and then they also have special projects, education, design templates, all kinds of fun stuff. Now you'll notice some of these things have a little crown next to it. Okay, like this one. That means you have to have the paid subscription to get that design. All right. So if you're on the free version and something is not working for you and it has that little crown, that is because you have to have the paid version to use that particular design. They do offer a 2-month free trial of the paid subscription version, like you see it up here, special offer. I am on that right now. Now, whether or not I'm going to keep it, I haven't decided yet, because I have to see how much I actually use the paid for features. But one of the big things you notice right off the bat is the amount of designs. So like here is all the free embroidery designs, free cutting designs, sublimation, printing. However, the paid ones, there's a ton. There's not a ton of free ones. So if you're looking for more design options, you're going to get it with the paid version. Now, I'm not using a design from the app today, but what I'm going to, once I get the design on there, the procedure as far as how to mess with it is going to be the same whether you uploaded your own design or you used one of theirs. You are going to have to, oh, I'm realizing I have this on top of the magnet. Let me get this away. All right. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you have to register your machine. So up here, when I click this, you can register printers, cutters, and embroidery machines. And you see I have 3 other newer embroidery machines that all have wireless capabilities. And I can use the Artspira app for any of those machines. So I remember somebody was talking earlier with their 6 needle, the PR 680, having trouble in Embrilliance sending the design wirelessly. I've had that same trouble too. I don't know if it's an issue of I have too many machines on the same wireless network. However, when that problem does occur, we can send the design wirelessly through the Artspira app. And it would be the same process as what we're doing on the Skitch today. So that might be helpful for you. But you want to register your machine. This machine is connected through Bluetooth. All of my other machines are connected through wireless. So I have to be on the same wireless network. But with the Skitch, it's just Bluetooth. All right. Now, my creations. That is where all your designs are going to get stored. On the free version, I think you're allowed to store 20 designs for free. On the paid version, you get 100. So if you're on the free version and you are getting to where you have too many, all you need to do is go and hit edit and delete the stuff you already stitched out. Okay, you should have this saved somewhere else, unless it's stuff you actually created on the app itself. But you should have it, saved on a file on your computer. All the stuff I make on my computer. So anything I've made on the computer, I can go and delete it after I've stitched it. But there is a plus button here. This is where you're going to add a design from your computer. Now you are going to need some sort of drive that you can access on your iPad that is on your computer or your tablet. So if you have Apple products, you have iCloud. Everything I do on my laptop, I can store in iCloud very easily. If you have a PC, you should have a OneDrive option. And then for no matter what kind of computer you have, Google Drive and Dropbox are 2 options as well. So I keep all my embroidery designs in my Dropbox. So I go to import external files, and over here is all the places that I can look to see where my designs are saved. So if I saved it, Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, iCloud, any of those places. So for me, it's Dropbox. Then I have a folder that says embroidery designs. And then this is where I store all my embroidery designs, and I have them categorized by, whatever category I think they fit in. What I did was I made myself a new folder that says machine. So every time I want to send a design to this machine, I'm saving it in this folder. All right. So here is Cozy Coop Quincy. And it's taken a second to visualize it, or I don't know if the iPad can see the design because it doesn't have like thumbnailer installed, but I can click that and hit open. And now it's saving it. And so now that design is in my library on my Artspira app, and I can click it, do any kind of editing I want, and send it to the machine. So it doesn't have all the functionalities of Embroidery Essentials, but it does have the basics. We can rotate, we can resize, we can merge some lettering to it. So kind of all the things that you can do on your machines that have a screen and an interface, you'll be able to do in the app. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the right hoop selected. So I have my 4x4 hoop done. If I wanted to add lettering, there are several fonts that come So say I just wanted a bee. Hit done. There's the bee. There are several fonts that come, and you'll notice they don't have too many that are with the free version. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 free fonts, and then all the rest with the little crowns are with the paid subscription. But you could pick a font. You could, increase the size to whatever you wanted it to be. I could take it and put it wherever I wanted on the design. I could change the color. I think this might be, I could change what the letter was. So those are all the things that you can do. If I click move, then I can rotate, I can flip, I can just move it. So those are all of the features that you're going to get editing wise within the app. So I don't want this bee, so I'm gonna hit delete. Or if I wanted to add another design, the only thing I think though is that it allows you to merge another design that's from the Art Spirit app, not from your drive. So any merging you want to do with designs you purchased online, I would do that in Embroidery. So here's the design, and I can save it, but I think I already had it saved. If I changed anything, I could save it, but I didn't. So I'm gonna hit done, and I'm gonna hit don't save because I didn't change anything. All right, and then layout. It's connected to the right embroidery machine. I'm gonna select layout, and that's when it's gonna tell me press the accept button on the machine. So if I go to the machine, this is the accept button. So I'm gonna click that. All right. And I'm gonna hit close on my app and come back over here. So I hit close, that little window went away. Now, if I wanted to click layout again, if I wanted to rotate or move anything, I could do that. But the way I have it hooped, it can stitch this direction. It will stitch correctly. I think, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, transfer. So when it's transferring, now it's going to tell you all the things you need to do. You need to make sure your bobbin's in, and they give you a video in case you forgot how to do it. Make sure everything is hooped and your magnetic frame is attached, and make sure you have your thread in. So I need to do all of those things. So I'm just going to put my iPad down and go to the machine. All right, and I messed with the bobbin earlier. Let me make sure I have it in there right. Okay, so it's the same bobbin as we have for our flatbed machines, the style A, and I'm using my pre-wound. And you're going to drop it in. The path is slightly different, but you want to make sure it's going counterclockwise. You're going to pull, and it's got the directions, to make sure you're pulling, the right way. I would say it's not as straightforward as my flatbed machine. It's a little bit different. So I'm pulling, and then this is where you cut. Oh, that's where I was seeing it pokes up a little bit after you cut it right here. All right, so the bobbin's in, and now let me change the thread. The first step of the design is, so as with all my machines, I don't want to pull the thread backwards. So I'm going to cut it right here. And I think the first step of my design is the yellow top part of the little car. So I'm putting my yellow thread. This is a little spool cap. Make sure this is pushed in all the way and the bottom of your thread is hitting the back of this spool holder. So far, I've been working with the spool holder. It hasn't made me want to switch to my tabletop spool holder yet. But there's like a tension disc here. It shows you exactly how the thread should go in it. You go down. Oh, I need to pull the old one out. Okay. Down, around, up. All of this is kind of the same. Down. There's a needle bar here. There we go. And then working backwards here. And then up and around. And there is a thread cutter here. There's a thread cutter right here. And now I'm going to push this down, thread it, and it's done. I like how the presser foot automatically comes down when you do this, because like I know I've messed up my PE 800 before, because you have to have the presser foot down to thread the needle. And I had the presser foot up and I kept trying to thread the needle and I messed it up. All right, so we have that done. And then the last thing is to put the actual onesie, and that's where the free arm is beautiful, because I'm going to put this inside the neck hole of the onesie. And this goes all the way back and it just clicks in. Push it and it clicks. And there's a little lever right here to remove it when you need to. This little lever right here. So everything's in there. The onesie's underneath the arm, and I could see my needle. Oh, did I do the picture thing? I forgot to do the picture thing. Let me do that. I wanted to show you that. Craft table. Okay. All right, we have our onesie. I have my marks. Let me hit cancel. Okay, and the layout feature. You see this little picture, little camera? We click that. And it's going to show you, we're going to use the camera of the iPad. And so we're going to hit this little thing, and it says start to scan hoop. Let's see if I can hold it to where you can see it though. Sorry, I have to move it out the way. But I had to hold my iPad up higher. But I can see this is my embroidery field, and there is my marks. And my marks look very good and where I want them to be. If you had some sort of directional fabric or something special, this is when that feature also works really well. So you can make sure when I click this, now I see my design with my background. And if I wanted to move this up a notch, I could, now this is where you tweak it so that the center of your design is matching up with the center points of your placement marks, or, your directional fabric, whatever the case may be. But that's how you can take a picture using the app and the registration marks on the frame. So now I can really see where my design is going to be. And I can hit done. And now I hit transfer. Okay, now we're going to put this back on the machine. Okay. I'm trying to check the chat. All right. Yeah, so June was pointing out the subscription. So the free, I'm doing this backwards. The free version of the app is free. If you do want to get the paid for subscription version, it's yes, $12.95 a month. So that's when you have to go and decide, if that is worth it for you to get those extra designs. There are also some extra features on the app I'm going to show you that you get with the paid for version, but you don't need the paid version just to use the machine and send your own designs over. They do allow you to upload your own designs to the free version and send them over to the machine, because if you have the free version, there's very limited number of options in the app. Okay, so here's my app. It tells I got my bobbin loaded. I got my hoop on. I got my thread done. And up here, I'm going to hit done. And now I can do a trial run. Sorry, you can't see that very well, huh? Maybe that's better. So the trial run is a trace feature. And it basically traces the embroidery field of the design. So I'm going to hit do a trial run. It's going to tell me click the accept button on the machine, this one. And now it's going to trace the design. Now, one thing I got nervous about when I started, this back piece of the presser foot does go over, like you could see where it's over this. However, that does not go down at any point. It's only the presser foot that goes down. So it's not hitting the frame. And also the machine knows which frame is attached, because like I tried putting the 3x3 frame on, but I had a 4x4 design and it told me this frame won't work. It knew that the embroidery design was too big for that little frame. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to hit OK. And now this is my embroidery menu. This is like the same menu that is on our machines that have screens, pretty much. This is where all your function is. You have a picture of what is getting stitched. You have all the steps, all the color changes, how many minutes each of them are. And this was something I did not notice when I first started playing with this machine, but one of my concerns was, well, what if I need to, if I have a thread break and I need to back up stitches or something like that? I found out where we do it. So under Stitch, you'll notice the numbers here are blue. That means they're clickable. So I'm going to click it. This is like your stitch simulator for your design. Everywhere I put this, it's moving the cursor where that stitch is. So if I am in the middle of stitching the yellow and I have a thread break and I'm like, oh, I need to go back up some stitches, I can either go back up 1 stitch, 10 stitches, or 100 stitches. So 1, 10, 100. The same thing here, going forward, 1, 10, 100. So that if I need to, fix and rethread, I can back up 20, 30 stitches and then start stitching again and pick up where I left off and have some overlap. Also, if things happen and you're trying to reduce color changes, like I have black here, here, and here, say I just finished stitching this black and I want to jump to the next one, I could click, and then here it says go to the beginning of the selected stitch. So then it actually goes to the first stitch of that color step. Or if I want to do this color step, go to the beginning. Now it's at the beginning. So those are the ways that we can jump steps. Just click within that color frame and go to the beginning. Or we can jump around backwards or ahead stitches. And then they have also the option to go to the current stitch. So I want to go all the way to the beginning and click done. So it is on stitch 0 of 4,900. All right, and so that's it. So now we're ready to press play and start. Now, the only thing I thought about, I did not put any water-soluble topper on here because there is no satin stitching. Most of the lights are going to be on top of fabric. I might put some water-soluble topper before we do the lights. I'll think about it. But for right now, we don't need it. So now everything's ready. And you see my start light is blinking. So the first step is going to be the placement stitch for the yellow, the top of the yellow. Now, I already see something I don't like. Okay. This thread. Now, in the little demonstration videos, they always recommend you hold this and start stitching and then pause it just like I did and cut it. I never do that, but maybe I should. I don't know. All right, it's going to keep stitching. All right. One thing I will say, though, compared to even my small flatbed machines, is the stitching time on this is slower. This machine only stitches at 400 stitches per minute, where my PE 800 is what? I already see some thing where I messed up there. Let me fix that. My PE 800 is what, 650 stitches per minute, so it is a bit slower. What's next? Okay, so now I didn't have this all ready. I have my pieces cut, but I didn't have my heat and bind light on it. So with all of my applique fabric, I always like to iron something called heat and bind light on the back. You'll notice like a rough textured size and a smooth paper size. You want the texture side to be on the wrong side of your fabric. And you want to iron that into place. So I have it for all of my pieces of applique. And I'm waiting for my iron to heat up. Let me check. Betty X, is it easy to use on a phone? Yes, I would say the only thing that makes it easier on an iPad is when you really are doing some sort of editing, where you're moving things around. I mean, just a simple move and resize is fine on the phone, but I like my iPad and I like having my pencil for my iPad. But you definitely, I did the Quincy, the reindeer, all on my phone. And then Norma asks, what size font is that? It is, I want to say 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch is the font I'm using inside of the little cozy coop. And what size is the hoop? The hoop is 4 by 4 inches. That's what comes with the machine. All right, so I got my little iron. Oh, I was still there. Okay, everything's ironed. And so you just let that cool for a second and you peel off the paper backing like that. And now we will, I have the placement stitch showing me right where to put the fabric. It's in yellow thread. Sorry, it's hard for y'all to see. If it's hard for you, you can take the hoop off, make sure you're placing it right in the right spot and put it back on. Make life a little bit easier. I'm just putting it on because I can see it. I can see it good. Also, I mean, some people like to tape and make sure this stays down. I'm pretty easygoing. I just lay it flat on there. And I saw this jump earlier, so I want to make sure it is, the tension is right. If this gives me trouble, I will switch to my thread stand because I know with all my other flatbed machines, I like my thread stand. All right, and now it's the next step. So I'm just going to hit play, and that is going to be my tack down stitch. So if I was ever worried, I'll use my little stiletto, oops, to make sure everything is where it should be. All right, so that's done. Now we really are going to take it off the machine because we have to trim it. All right, so now I'm going to press the little lever and slide this off. I always have trouble. Okay, you got to make sure you slide it off right in the right spot. And craft table. Okay, so here is the beginning first piece of my applique. I'm going to use my applique scissors. This is a blanket stitch. For blanket stitches, I usually trim right next to the tack down stitch. The only one I will trim like a little bit further away, like at an offset, is my bean stitch. So if you bought the bean stitch version of this one, I would trim it just a smidge, like 1/8 of an inch away from the tack down stitch. I find it looks nice. But for blanket, I'm due right next to it. Also with blanket stitch, you are going to want to use the same color thread for your tack down that you're using for your finishing. You know how with satin stitching, we usually hide the tack down stitch with the finishing stitch, like it doesn't matter what color you use. With blanket, it does. Blanket and zigzag and bean, you want to use whatever color you're using for the top. Use that also for your tack down stitch. So that is trimmed. And because I have that heat and bond light on there, I'm going to iron it into place. And what's great about the little mini iron is it fits right in the hoop. Okay, so we activated that heat and bond light. Y'all let me know if my microphone is being silly because I clipped it to the top of my collar. I don't know if it's making it sound worse or not. So just tell me if it sounds bad. Okay, so that's done. Now we'll go back on. I can look at my app. Oh, here we go. And see the next step. It tells me what color it is, but it doesn't show me. If it does, I can't see. I think it's the steering wheel is next. No, I'm stupid. Next is the blanket stitch. Is the blanket stitch on top of here. That's going to be your third step. All right, always make sure, you know, you have this open and you're actually going through the body of the shirt. And now this is pushed way over. I can't see what I'm doing. Why are you not going on? There we go. It's not happy with me right now. What did I do? There we go. All right, so make sure that is fully clipped into place. Make sure the free arm is going through your shirt. And now the next step is the blanket stitch, which is what is considered the finishing stitch of this applique. And I got a little piece here. I can trim. I can get it away after. Okay, let me check the chat. All right, Jill says, my sound is clear. Good. All right, and Jill also says she really likes the app. Very helpful. Awesome. And Norma saying the hoop does look bigger than a 4x4. Well, you know, with all embroidery hoops, they are actually bigger than the embroidery field. But no, the sewing field is still only the 4x4. Like this grid fits in my normal 4x4 hoop. So yeah, I would say it's wider than the 4x4. And just about as tall. Yeah. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, the next step is the steering wheel, because the steering wheel actually wants to be under the red fabric. It wants to look like it's under it. So they have us stitching that next. So changing thread colors. I had black. There it is. Right in front of me. All right. Make sure this one doesn't fit in, so I'm just going to push it all the way back. All right, and now under, over, pull this out. Come back over here because I'm not facing forward like a normal person. All right, and pull through. I always like to pull this through so that that's going. Let me double check that I'm remembering this right. So yeah, nope, I'm wrong. It's oh, that's what it was. The next step is the red of the bottom of the car. So that would be nice if I could tell. I don't know how to tell on the app that, I think I like this red better. I can see what the color of the next step is, but I really need to see what the like outline of the next step is so I can tell. Because like simple things like applique, it's never like the placement in the tack down stitch is always some random color, not the color that you're actually going to use. But the way the design is made is so that we do the applique of the car, then the steering wheel, then the finishing stitch of the applique of the car, if I'm looking at it correctly. Okay, because it wants the blanket stitch to be on top of it probably. All right, so that is done. It is telling me now to press play. I have to fix that after. It had a thread tail. Oh wait, this is all wrong. Why is that wrong? So let me hit cut. No. No. Okay. It says check and rethread upper thread, show troubleshooting. And when I click on that, it goes through the process of how you do it. So what I want to do is just cut the thread. Let me do that. Yeah, see, look, I had all that going on. I feel like this one is really tight. I might be switching to my thread stand. Also, while this is stopped, I had a tail I didn't like. I'll do that later. Okay, here we go. All right, so going back to the app, I'm going to hit close. So let me show you on the table. Where is my stuff? Okay. So on the app, so I hit close. It's got me a warning up here saying check rethread upper. So this is where I want to back up stitches now. I've rethreaded. And I'm right here, and I can see my stitching actually stops about right here. So let me go back 10. Let me go back 20. I think that's more than enough so that I have some overlap happening there. So I'm gonna hit done. And now I have return. Oh, you even have the option of return to the position where the error occurred, but I want to back up more than that. But what I don't see, I still have a red light. So let me click this. When you are ready, press the accept button to clear the error. So that's what I need to press. So I still have a red light on my machine because I need to accept the fact that my thread broke. I have fixed it, and now I have put it back where I want it to be. So now it backs up, and it's stitching back where I want it to stitch. Beautiful. So it's a little different than what I'm used to, but I'm getting used to it. All right. So now we have our tack down stitch. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because I have some things I want to clean up before I put the red thread on there. Okay, so here it is. I had this, here's my trash there. This guy I want to get rid of, this guy. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my red applique fabric. Oh wait, let me take this off. Okay. And I'm just going to lay it right on top. And then I'm going to go put this back on the machine. Make sure I go through the neck hole. There we go. All right, that is all in place. Oh, wait. I got to put y'all on the machine. Okay, so this is back on. Red thread. This is the tack down stitch. Jennifer's on her PE 800 right now, and she heard the beep and she panicked. She thought it was her machine. No, it's mine. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right, that's funny. So yeah, Linda, it is a free arm. That's what makes this machine so cool. So we are limited in hoop size, and the stitching speed is not the fastest, but the free arm. And for, you know, fraction of the price of what my first free arm cost me, it's $5,000. That is a huge difference. So that's when I'm like, this is worth it just for onesies. Like if you have a big fancy flatbed machine, I would want this just for onesies. All right, so now I am trimming just like I did the top part of my car. And again, I'm trimming as close to my tack down stitch as I can, because this is, you see the blanket stitch, how you want it to go. It really just goes right outside of the tack down stitch. Okay, just be careful. Make sure you don't accidentally snip a hole in your onesie while you're trimming that. So there we go. But you see the finishing blanket stitch, how pretty it is? So now the next step is the steering wheel. Then we're going to come back with the red blanket on top of that. So we need to change thread colors and load the machine back on. Okay, I'm getting better at getting the hoop on there without the machine getting mad at me. All right, so red off, black on. And when I'm not doing a video and just using this machine, I have it on, I have this little cabinet right here behind me. And it's so nice because it barely takes up any room at all. I have a printer right next to it. And, you know, I just have to make sure the hoop is not going to bump anything when it's moving left and right, but it really doesn't take up much room at all. And it was really easy to use on that little cabinet. And then I'm much better at changing the thread. I'm not going all around it. Oh, nope. I already saw it came unthreaded. All right, so now we're going to do like we did before. We're going to cut. I don't know where it went up here. I probably should have just pulled it because I don't even see it at the bottom. Where are my tweezers? My kids stole my tweezers. Or I stole my tweezers. They're probably still on the 6 needle. There they are. Abigail, you got Gracie? Okay. What? Not right now. I'm still doing my video. I'm just checking on her because I know she's going to be like, yeah, I'm watching Gracie. And Gracie's probably eating the pillow or something. Or tearing something up. Now, why did I cut that? I shouldn't have. There we go. Found it. Okay. Make sure I have this right. I think when I threaded it, I didn't have enough of a tail on it. It's a fine line of having too much of a tail and not enough tail. So that's why I'm supposed to cut it right here, because that's supposed to give you the right amount of tail coming out the back of your needle. Okay, and that's when I'm going to go back to my app, just like I would on my, if I was working on a machine that had a screen, back up. I'm just going to go to the beginning of the selected thread color. Yeah, we're just going to start that over. Done. I accept my thread change and go. Now it's happy. All right, so now it's stitching the thing. I'm watching this because I see it like it comes off, but this disc is supposed to help prevent, keep the tension constant where it goes onto this disc, but it's still, I don't like the way it feeds off of here. All right, so that is done. Now back to red for the blanket stitch of the car. No, I gotta go through there, then there. And then the more you play with it, the quicker you're gonna get at rethreading it, just like your other machines. Okay, and start. All right, after this, Jill X, where is Owen today? Owen is hiding in what we call the front room of our house because we have my dad's little puppy over, and Owen wants to hit the puppy all the time. Like Owen just sits there like this with his little paws. And so I'm keeping them separated at the moment. Unless I'm in the room with them and can watch them. But like right now, Abby's watching them, so we're just gonna keep Owen out. I wouldn't be surprised though if Abby has Owen with her too. That's her baby. Abby is the reason we have Owen. She talked me into it. All right. Linda, I see some congratulations happening, but I missed it. Oh, you got a 6 needle yesterday. Yay, Linda. I'm rolling up on the chat. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. So excited. Okay, what's the next step? The next step is the wheels. So I got, oh man, I wish I still had my black thread on. Okay, changing back to black. I'm usually always like, how can we have the least amount of thread changes? I'm not doing the best job today. Okay. With my thread changes. But you also got to keep in mind, like, how is the design made? If something has to hide behind something else, you can't always stitch it out of order. So those kind of things you have to pay attention to. It's like the steering wheel wants to hide behind the red of the car. So that's probably why it's designed that way. All right, so that's on. So now we're doing start the placement for our little wheels. I got this. Let me take the Heat and Bond light off the back. Okay. I hear Abigail trying to get Owen. She's shaking his food. That's usually, he comes running when he hears his food container. Okay, so that's the tack down. I am going to do something though to prevent having to take this off so many times. So with the design, the next step is the blanket stitch. But I think I'm going to use my app to jump ahead to the next wheel. So when I take it off, I'm trimming both at the same time. So this is my embroidery field. You know, this is the usual screen I see when I'm embroidering. So I'm trying to make it to where it's not glare. Stitch, here's my numbers. I'm gonna click that. So can I zoom in? Yeah. All right, so the next step is black, and that's the black blanket stitch for here. Then I can see blue is the tack down, green, blue is the placement, green is the tack down, and then another black. I want to go to this blue. It's just, can I be in there? I think I'm in the blue. Go to beginning of that thread color. Now let me hit done. And that should be the placement stitch. Go back here. Now if I hit play, aha, I'm gonna go get the placement stitch for that wheel. All right, put that wheel down. Next step is the tack down. Then I'm gonna take it off and trim both of them and back up and go do that blanket stitch and then move ahead and go to that blanket stitch. So they're saving a little bit of time. All right. Take that off and we can trim those. Let's see. Where's my scissors? I was talking. I don't know if y'all heard. I got my neighbor. I really did lose my scissors. Where are they? Here they are. My neighbor, I talked her into getting, well, I didn't talk her into. She told me she was interested in embroidery. So I told her, I was like, well, I could tell you all about it. And I was telling her about all the different machines, you know, if she wanted to start with something small and then see how she likes it. But after showing her all the different machines and all going through all the functions of all of them, of course, she wanted the 6 needle when we were done talking. So she ordered it. She got the 6 needle because they had that awesome sale going on right now. And where like you get the stand with it for free, you get the cap driver with it for free, you get jerky frames with it for free, some other magnetic frames for free. Like it comes with everything. So I told her, I'm like, this is the best time to get it. This is the best deal I've seen on it. So she ordered it. And me and her, even though we live down the street from each other, it's 9 o'clock at night. So we're FaceTiming. And I'm helping her get her machine set up and do like a first test stitch and everything. And sure enough, she's just starting. And every single time we talk, she's like, where'd I put my scissors? Where'd I put my tweezers? I'm like, this is everyone who ever sews or embroiders. It's like automatic for us to lose our scissors and our tweezers every single time we need them. I'm like, you're going to fit right in. You're already doing great. That made me think of that just now when I couldn't find my scissors. Okay, so there's our little wheels. So on the app, I'm going to go here. I want to back up to, this is where I like using my pencil, but I want to go back to this black stitch. This is the blanket, and I could see it moving. This is the blanket stitch for this wheel. Go to beginning. So now when I start it again, it's going to do the blanket stitch here, and then I'll fast forward it to the other blanket stitch. And then what's after that? White is the little swirls inside the tire. Okay. So I did pick a rather long project, but this was the cutest design. And you know the cutest designs have the most color changes. So that's what we got to do. All right, so it's where I want it to be. My black thread is on. Nope. Why are you stitching there? Oh, I didn't hit done. Can I hit cut? Cut. There we go. Okay. Because I didn't hit done on my app after I moved it where I wanted, it wasn't where it's supposed to be. Aha. Now it says, now it's going to go where I want it to go. So make sure after you get it on where you want it to be stitching in that special window of the app, hit done before trying to start stitching again. Okay. Now that's done. And it really wants to do the placement stitch, but I'm going to click that button again, move my cursor in that black blanket stitch, go to the beginning, hit done. Now it's going to do the blanket stitch for that tire. And I need white thread next. Put that off there. Okay. Linda, my husband gets scared when I say I'm going to watch Carly. He thinks, oh no, now what she's going to buy. Tell your husband I'm sorry. And trust me, I'm the same way. Y'all want to hear what I got influenced on this this past week? It's funny because it's not crafting stuff. I was on TikTok, which I don't usually go on TikTok, but I've been trying to put my little videos on TikTok. So that has made me, of course, watch it. And they had these ladies cleaning, and they clean in their bathroom with a scrubber brush. And I was like, oh yes, done. So I got me a scrubber brush. I done cleaned the girl's bathtub with it. It works amazing. And then what else? Some eyelash stuff, a makeup brush. Trust me, y'all not the only ones. It's like when you see real people using stuff and you see how it's worked, you know, get a good opinion on something, see how it works. You know, like y'all could see this machine working. I could see that cleaning brush cleaning. All right. Oh, I forgot to take the black thread out. That's fine. And there's the white thread. And now we start. Okay. Okay. Lisa said, so why did I go back and forth? In my head, I didn't want to stitch this tire, take it off, trim it, then put it back on, stitch the other tire, take it off, trim it. Because they were further, the two tires were far enough apart, I was like, okay, I can stitch both of them, do the placement and tack down stitch for both of them, then take it off and trim both of them together. So that's how I was thinking of just making my progress a little quicker. Also, this is the first time we've seen now it cut a jump stitch. So there's two spots of white in each tire, and it cut the jump stitch between each one. So that was nice. So we're done with all of our applique now, and all the rest is thread changes. So, and now it's easy for me to look at the app because the colors are the colors I want to do my lights in. So the next color is green. So we're going to do green lights. And you're going to see, you know, it cut and jump stitches in between each of those lights. You know, because this is where when I was using my PE800, I'd have a mess of jump stitch threads going all over the place. I would end up trimming them in between each step so that things wouldn't get stitched on top of each other. So when I did upgrade to my Persona, that was another thing. It's like, it cuts jump stitches. It's wonderful. All right, this is also the part where I think I am going to put some water soluble topper, because like I could see where the steering wheel went in, And it does the knit cotton. This isn't it. Knit cotton doesn't always, your threads don't always look the best on it. So now on my first onesie, I covered it in water soluble topper and I put it in within the magnetic frame, and it was great because the magnetic hoop held it all in place nice. But this time I'm just going to lay it on top. It should be fine. It might pull a little bit, but I got a big enough piece. It should work. Okay. Play. So now this is going to be all our little green lights. The next is pink. The next is purple. Then red. Then blue. Then black. Then whatever color we decide to do, his name. So I got all those ready. Okay. All right. All right, Joe Ann said, can you pull the thread to like on the persona? I don't know, because I have been told on a flatbed machine, the thread path is not made like on a multi-needle, and it's not made to pull a knot through it. And I'm assuming that this thread path is, if not the same or very similar than a flatbed machine, with the way that it goes through the tension disc here. On the tension disc on a multi-needle machine or other free arm machines, it's all open and there's just like a little little metal plate it has to go under. So I don't know if I would pull a knot through this. I would think it would be the same. Wait, I need to this is hard to do when I'm not standing in front of it. Okay, there we go. Okay, that should be good. And pull and start. Okay. I'm reading the chat. Oh no, Norma, her electrical is out in her craft room, and home warranty say they won't cover it, ready to drop them and get her own electrician. I'm so sorry, Norma, that sucks. I know that sucks. Yeah, electricians are not cheap. Here's the problem. Electricians are not cheap, and they're really hard to get them to actually come and do the work. I spoke to an electrician months ago about coming and putting recessed lights here in my craft room and in the girls' playroom. And we got a whole bunch of work we want to do. Put it in downstairs, and it's the scissors again. And Chris needs some kind of special plug for his generator so he can hook up a generator to like the house. And I call him. I'm bad. I don't call him very often. But when I do call him, he'll say, oh, maybe in a week or next week or 2 weeks. And then I never hear from him again. I know he's so busy, but it's hard to get him to actually come to the house. Okay. Wait now. Go here. Okay. So I see a bunch of little thread tails I'm gonna have to end up trimming. That's no big deal. So we're on purple lights. We got 2 more light colors left. Then the string. Then we can decide what color we're going to do his name in. Oh, Linda's lucky she had a daddy as an electrician. So Miracle Text, is the Skitch worth it? I would say for the price, yes. It is under 500. And even though it has a small embroidery field, the free arm, magnetic hoop, cutting jump stitches makes it worth it. Definitely. Now, it's not the fastest machine. It doesn't, it's not a multi-needle, but it's nowhere near priced at one either. So I think for the price, and if you want to do onesies without pulling your hair out, it's worth it. I'm getting used to using the app. I had an issue earlier I wanted to tell y'all about, because if it happens to you now, I know how to fix it. I normally keep this on a counter behind me. I unplugged it and moved it to my craft table so y'all can see it good. So I guess when I unplugged it, it lost its connection to my app on my phone. So then I go and I open my app and I go to try to connect it, and it would not connect. And so I was like, I don't understand. So I called Brother, and the solution was simple, and I should have thought of it before calling them. But I just needed, do you know how, I know I do this with all my other devices that are Bluetooth. You can forget a device. So I went into the settings of my, oh wait, did I thread the needle? Did I? Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah. I couldn't remember. I went into the settings of my iPad and went to Bluetooth, selected the PP1, the machine, and hit forget device. And then I went back to the Art Spirit app and connected it, and then it worked. So that's some troubleshooting for you. If for any reason you go to use your machine one day and it's telling you it won't connect through Bluetooth, go to the device you're using and tell your device to forget it. It's not pairing properly, and then you repair it. Another thing I learned is I cannot play with it. It can only connect to one device at a time. So I can't go and play with it on my iPad and play with it on my phone at the same time. At least I was having trouble with it today. I want to say the other day, though, I went with both. But you might have issues with trying to do 2 devices at one time. Now, wireless network is different because you're on the same wireless network but with Bluetooth, same like with those little Bluetooth speakers and stuff like that. It can only connect to one phone at a time. Somebody else can't try to connect to your speaker and play music the same time you're doing it. So I guess you got to think of it that way. So choose, which one are you going to work on today? Today I wanted to use the iPad so I can have a bigger screen to show y'all. So just work on that one device. Now, if next time I want to use my phone, I'll pair it with my phone. But only one at a time. Yeah, so those are some things I learned today. If you ever have those same issues. All right. Lost the scissors again. There they are. And start. All right, this is the last of the lights. And then the string connecting the lights, and then the name. Barry says, I do wish it had 5x7, but I like the small footprint. I'm really thinking hard, but where I'll put it if I purchase one. But yes, I'm thinking about it. I know. If they made a 5x7 one like this, I think it would be a game changer. But I don't know. I don't see them doing that like in the immediate future. I would think they're going to get through having this machine and people having it for a while. Make sure there's no kinks that maybe they need to improve before coming out with a 5x7. I'm just cutting these little tails before I stitch the string lights, the string that connects them, because I don't want them to get stitched over. Okay. I do find there's very little room to clear the hoop under the presser foot. Very little room. So if like you hoop something thick, you'll have a tough time getting it under the presser foot just to get it on the machine. I don't know. I don't think it has a presser foot height adjustment, but I may be wrong. Okay, so I'm going to do black to connect all the lights. What should we do? Maybe do like a hunter green, like string lights normally have like a green string between them. Let's do that. No. Okay, you do want to make sure your needle is under that needle bar good. And with new machines, I always find the needle bars are really tight when you first start threading your machine. So keep that in mind. All right, this is the string for the lights. And then we'll do his name. Yes, it does. It is the size of a coffee maker. So let me see if I can show you this while this is stitching. Let me turn my camera. Okay, so I have it on my craft table right now. However, normally, let me zoom out. I have these cabinets over here. This is normally where it sits. So do I have a measuring tape? I got a ruler. Let's see. And I got my sublimation printer here. So that's not even 13 inches between my sublimation printer and the edge of this. And this is where it sits, and this is where I use it. Like I did the reindeer onesie on it right here, and I had no issues with the hoop even coming close to hitting the sublimation printer. So 13 inches, a sliver of space. And then my cabinet is like 15 and a half, 16 inches deep. I want to say they have some little supports on the bottom of the metal bar, the free arm, and it like sits right here. So around 15 inches, 16 inches is what you need. So, but that's normally where I keep my machine. So it's nice that it doesn't take up a lot of space at all. All right. Oops. I hear something not being happy. Are you happy or are you not happy? Oh, it's doing like a little thicker piece at the bottom of each light, like showing where it's connected. So that's where it's going through a few layers. So it's sounding a little dense right there, but it's okay. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Oh, wait, I didn't do a good job putting the camera on this, did I? Okay. But yeah, I thought it looked like a coffee maker. And yes, it cuts jump stitches. Isn't that cool? So Lisa's asking, do you think they'll come out with one for wireless connection? So, I mean, technically it is a wireless connection, but it's not Wi-Fi connected. It's Bluetooth connected. I don't know necessarily why they chose, like, all their other models are Wi-Fi and this one's Bluetooth. I don't know. I think maybe their intention was you didn't have to have Wi-Fi to use this machine. But I haven't tried opening up the app without my phone or my iPad being connected to Wi-Fi. So that will be a test to see. But I think what they were striving for was, say your internet goes out of your house. You don't want it to be where you can't use your machine. I think that's what they're going for with the Bluetooth connectivity. Like on our other machines, if our internet goes out, we still have a USB port we could put designs on and send it to it. Do you know if it can be used to embroider baseball style cap? I did see that another YouTuber that I like to watch, that her YouTube channel is called The Sewing Report. I saw the thumbnail for it, but I didn't watch the video yet. But I think she did a soft style baseball cap on this machine. So I haven't gone and watched the video yet to see how it worked out for her. But I do see that we could hoop just some tearaway or even polymesh stabilizer and pin the heck out of a baseball cap. I would wonder about clearing under the presser foot though, if I can get under it. But I do predict us being able to stitch soft style baseball hats on this machine, just like we've done in the past with our flatbed machines. So Marcella, this is the new Brother Skitch. Where is it written? Right here, Skitch PP1. I have it linked and everything down below. All right, we're done with all the lights. So the last is the name. What color should we stitch the name? Should we do green since I just took it off? No, I was thinking white. I think no. White or yellow or blue. Even like the same blue we did for the lights. Tell me in the chat, what color do y'all think we should do his name? The blue, I think, would pop against the red. Okay, Walk by Faith says white. Anybody else? Linda says blue. Joanne says blue. Yvette says blue. Okay, blue's winning. All right. So I cut it already. Okay. So Terry's saying she did watch the Sewing Report video. My mind is blanking right now on her name. Is Jen? Is it Jen? I can't remember. I've been watching her for years, but now I'm blanking on what her first name is. But she does awesome videos. I love her. And so Terry's saying that she did do a soft baseball cap. Okay, I'm gonna have to go watch that video. And then I could try it too. I keep forgetting. Okay. All right, and let me just double check on here. Yep, this is the last step. And I'm gonna go ahead and it's covered in water soluble topper right now. And this is more of a bean stitch design. Let me tell y'all which font I use. Yes, Jenny says her name is Jen. She watches her too. Awesome. Okay, I did Quincy in a font by Creative Appliques. And the name of the font is Dino Friends Floss. And I did it in the 0.75 option as a size. So this is Dino Friends Floss from Creative Appliques. That's the name of the font I chose for today. Okay. I'm still like always paranoid. Like I'm feeling under it. Like I did put it on right. Like it's not stitching to itself. Oh, this is a long live. We're going on 2 hours. So I would say, just from the little bit I've used it, it definitely, I wouldn't predict it to be able to power through like multiple layers or thick or very dense designs where stitches are happening on top of stitches, which we shouldn't have anyway, but it does happen sometimes. Like, I don't know, just from the little bit I've used it so far, I don't see it doing very well with thick things or layers of things. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Joanne has a very good question. Do you know if Creative Fabrica embroidery fonts are BX capable? Most of them that I've seen are not. However, look in the item description. It's going to tell you all the formats that the design comes in. And look and see if people have started making theirs come in BX font. So just look in the description of the font and look at all the formats that it comes in. Okay, I got some tails. So even though it is cutting jump stitches, I'm not having the best of luck with the tails. Now they do recommend that you hold the thread before it starts stitching. Like hold the top thread, let it stitch, then pause, then trim it. However, these are between jump stitches. So I can't prevent that, you know. So we have some tails, but that's no big deal. And I want to say on some machines you can control the tail length between jump stitches if you need, if there's a problem occurring. Okay, that all looks good. So now it's just pulling away the water soluble topper. I love this little design. It is so stinking cute. I think Austin is going to love this for his little boy. Okay, so I can get tweezers and get the rest of that out of there. I can also use a water spray bottle and dissolve whatever water soluble topper is left. So lots of different ways to get that off of there. I usually try to get as much as I can by tearing, and then I will spray it with water. But that's it. We just pull that magnetic hoop off. Like I said, the magnets aren't as strong as some other hoops I've used, so it's not like you need all your strength to pull it off. So now let me make sure my iron's on. Okay, so now we're going to clean up everything. On the back, we have all this stabilizer. Now I did iron it, but I'm going to pull it to where it is going back to the design so that I can trim it. All right. I just trim it like 1/2 inch or so around the design. Make sure you don't accidentally snip your onesie when you're doing this. Ask me how I know. I think all of us have made that mistake at one point, cutting a hole in our stuff. So once that is done, then I don't mess too much with the tails on the back because I am going to put some soft stuff on the inside to cover up all of those threads because the baby does not want this rubbing against his skin. So because I'm doing that, I really don't see the point at trimming any of these tails. They're all going to get underneath my Fuse So Soft. The couple that are poking out here on the ends, that's probably it, right? Okay, so before I put the Fuse So Soft, I am going to redo this iron down of the poly mesh. Just so that it's not poking up when I put the Fuse So Soft down on it. I'm just trying to get all of these down. Okay, so that's done. And now I'm going to cut a piece of the Fuse So Soft that's going to be a little bit bigger than where I trimmed my stabilizer. So I usually do something like this first. And then I'll trim it to go around. Now, one of the things that people do have trouble with this, so I see someone mentioned Tender Touch. So this is a version of Tender Touch. I find every company has a different name. Stay Perfect calls it Fuse So Soft. Sulky calls it Tender Touch. I've also seen another brand called it Cloud Cover, but it is fusible, soft interfacing, right? I've noticed some brands just don't work as well as others, but none of them really work wonderful, to be honest. But some tips for you. And when I say they don't work wonderful, it's because after washing and drying this onesie, it is not uncommon for this to peel up or completely come off. But I have some tips for you to help prevent it. And that is round your corners. Don't have a box like square corner. Round everything. And when we are ironing it, we're not moving all over the place. We're pressing. And if you have a heat press, I find that gives you the best result. So I'm still using my mini iron. Sometimes I like to use my big iron for this part so that I could cover more space per press. But usually what I'll do is I press in the middle and slowly move out. Do something like this. And then when I'm done, I'll do firm presses just on the edges. Now, it's not the end of the world if this does come off after you wash it, because all you have to do is iron it right back down. Okay, and so this is when I'll just go and I'm putting pressure on all the edges so that this is not as likely to pull up after you wash it and dry it. Okay, and now that's all nice and soft and smooth. No rough threads rubbing against the baby's skin. And we have our little baby applique onesie. A couple little other cleanup things. I still have some topper in here. And I still have my placement marks, the purple. So here's my water. All right, so spray that. I'm going to use a towel to kind of wipe off the water-soluble topper. And you'll notice the water is also getting my placement marks off. However, sometimes, depending on the fabric, it's like it needs to be soaking wet, like soaking wet for the placement marks to come out. So if they don't come out with a little bit of water, I'll use a Tide pin, and that definitely gets out any residual marks without having to dunk my whole onesie in water. So that is it. Let's see. All right. So here we go. This is our cute little applique Christmas onesie, and all done on the Brother Skitch 4x4 hoop, free arm. You saw, like, it's if you've ever done a onesie on a flatbed machine, you know how much simpler that was, right? We still got to do all the thread changes and the applique steps and all, all of that slows us down. But the part of not having to really babysit it.
Are you almost done?
Almost done.
Okay.
Okay, can you let me finish? The fact that we did not have to babysit it and keep all the fabric out the way the whole time it was stitching is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I love this little onesie. I know this is going to go good with his other little onesie. So I need to get these to him so he can wear them. Christmas is only like a week and some days away. Okay, so I need to go get this to him like tonight so he can wear them. And then I'll make him some more onesies. So he needs a Mardi Gras onesie. He needs a cute little Valentine's Day onesie. So he's getting all the onesies while he's still in this size, because I have 5 more of them to make for him. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm sorry it was a bit long. We had a lot to talk about. I wanted to tell you all about the machine, and y'all know I'm just slow in general. So Patty, 10 days. Oh my God, 10 days. I still have so many ornaments to make too. So that's something else we could make on this machine. For those of y'all that were in my holiday workshop, we had a 4x4 version of this. If y'all watched my Sewing Machines Plus class on Monday, we did this one. There's a 4x4 version of this. So like all of that could be done on this machine. So 4x4 is limiting, but there's still a lot we can do. There's a lot we can do. All right, yay. Okay, I'm just checking the comments. All right, Terry loves it. It's beyond adorable. That's how I felt about it when I saw the design. Okay, Kathy. She's asking, will I be doing a video on the sublimation printer? Yes, I actually made several. I've been making sublimation things, but I haven't been videoing them because it's happening late at night when Elise has a special day at school. Like all this week, is all special dress up days. And so I made her a like faux ugly sweater t-shirt because it's too hot outside to be wearing a real sweater. So I sublimated that, and then I sublimated her a cute little Christmas Stitch shirt to wear today for pajama day. I made her this shirt too, but then I realized after this it's a bit tight on her, so I'm going to find. Y'all know a little girl that wears a size 6. I have a shirt she can have. But this is a shirt that I sublimated on the machine. But so far, I'm loving it. I videoed unboxing it and setting it up. I just need to take all those little video clips and edit it and make it everything. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I had people ask me when I got it, well, is it better than the Epson one I used to have? And at first, I was like, I don't think it's necessarily better. It's just another version of a sublimate. Oh, it's another printer. The main difference with the Epson that I got, over 2 years ago, it wasn't made to be a sublimation printer. It's just a regular inkjet printer. And so I bought it brand new, and I did not put the ink that came with it. I bought sublimation ink and put inside of it. And I didn't use regular copy paper. I used sublimation paper. So I had to buy ink and paper, right? And then turned it into a sublimation printer. The Brother is made as a sublimation printer. It comes with the ink, the special ink it needs, comes with the special paper it needs. So at first I thought that was really the only difference. However, after more research, I learned the reason why I had trouble with my Epson printer is because it's not made for sublimation, and there is no maintenance on an Epson. So if you don't run the machine, if you're not printing on a regular basis, there's nothing going and cleaning those ink lines in between. So what happened was I went a long period of time without printing anything, and my ink lines got clogged and there was no fixing it. I went through all kinds of cleaning, print head cleaning, nozzle checks, purge sheets, all the things. It still had lines when I printed, so I gave up on it. So when this one came out, I was like, okay, I need a new sublimation printer because mine is not working. But the beautiful thing about this one is it runs automatic maintenance. So even if I go a whole month without printing a sublimation design, it is on its own, randomly coming on and running a maintenance, cleaning the ink lines, the print nozzles. So I do not have to worry about that happening on the new Brother sublimation printer, which I'm very happy about. So I can say now, if you're choosing between the two and you're like me and it's a random thing, you're not doing it all the time, go for the Brother machine over the Epson, because then it has that automatic maintenance built in. But I do plan on doing some sublimation videos. Kathy, it's probably going to be in the new year because I'm done now for this year. I got a couple more things to do, but I'm done. I'm trying to get the Embrilliance course done, and then we'll start planning projects for next year. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. Linda said, can we do a 6-needle class on our Zoom sometime? So for the VIP membership, definitely. We can definitely do that. Yay, Jenny's like, she's got too many things on her wish list. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. So Lisa says, was the Cozy Coupe design from Artspira? No, it was not. I bought it from Alphalicious Designs. I have a link for it, and we got a coupon code for it. I opened up the design on my computer in my Embroidery software, added the name, and then I saved it to a folder. I was able to go in the Artspira app, access that folder, and put the design, upload the design to the app, which then allows me to send it to the machine. So in that way, it kind of works like a middleman. You know, you got what used to be your USB stick. You do all the designing on your computer, save it to the USB stick, then bring the USB stick to the machine and plug it in. Now you're using the Artspira app as that middleman. But as also a plus is if you don't want to pull out your computer at all and you're just sitting on your couch and on your phone and on your iPad, I'm almost positive I can go to Alphalicious, buy the design. It's going to give me an email with the only thing is if it comes in a zip file, I don't know if I can unzip it on the phone. I might need a computer. But I want to say with this design, it didn't come in a zip file. It just came in a regular folder. And then it's all of your phone should ask you like where you want to save it to your files and whatnot. Put it in a spot and then open your Artspira app and go find where you saved it in your files. So it might cut out having to use a computer at all, but I have to play with if you buy a design and it comes in a zip file, then it might be you have to have the computer to unzip it. I'll have to play with that. Okay. Oh, Patty's asking for the 6-needle. She needs help with thread colors and applique and trying to figure out how to do multiple snap tabs. Yes, I can definitely help you with that. And Patty also needs Santa to bring her a sublimation printer and a Skitch. I don't blame you for telling Santa to bring you those. All right. Okay. So as what promotions do they have right now for multi-needle? So from my understanding, Sewing Machines Plus has the absolute best deal on a Brother 6-needle embroidery machine right now. If you want to learn more about that machine, I actually did a demo on Sewing Machines Plus's show yesterday, if you go to their YouTube channel. But it's an amazing machine. And I want to say the price is less than what it usually is. or it was, I don't know. So I want to say the price is like $11,499. I think that's what it is, or is it $10,499? But it comes with like $5,000 worth of stuff, which is insane. It comes with the stand. So the stand you're looking at $1,000. It comes with the cap driver. That's like $1,500. It comes with a 7-piece Durkee easy frame set. That's like $400. And it comes with 2 Brother magnetic hoops. I don't know how much those cost, but it's like an exorbitant amount of extras that it comes with that usually when you're buying a multi-needle machine, you want a cap driver with it. And that's a an added expense. I like having the stand. It's not necessary, but I like having it. That's an added expense. Now all of that is coming with it. So I have a salesperson that I work with at Sewing Machines Plus. Her name is Jean. And on the screen here is her direct phone number. Her extension is 139. You can call her and she will tell you all the details on the machine, everything that comes with it, and also help you with financing. They do offer 0% financing if you qualify. And tell her that Carly Bell sent you. And if you do get any other accessories or thread or stabilizers, tell her to use my coupon code and she can get you an extra discount on it. So talk to her. She's fantastic to work with. If she doesn't answer when you call, I think there's an option to leave a message with her, or you can email her. I don't think I have a button with her email, but it's jean@sewingmachinesplus.com. You can also email her and list your phone number in the email, and then she'll call you when she has a moment and can help you with anything. So highly talking to Jean if you're looking at a machine, able to help you get everything you need. My friend Mandy, my neighbor down the street that got her 6 needle, with everything that she needed. And I made, I told them like, use my coupon code. So she got her some extra stuff with it. So it was really good. All right. No problem, guys. Okay. Price was call-in and they had a great bundle. Okay, Linda said that. Awesome. Another Linda said, is this a good machine for beginners? I definitely think so. Like what I see this as is for people who, even like teenagers or people that want to get into embroidery with just like, okay, I just want to add a monogram to a collar or a pocket or, or a baby onesie, like, cause I know that's how I started out. So I can't say most people, but that's what I'm familiar with. But just wanting to add names to sweaters or monograms to things, I think this is a great, great starter machine. And I think if you already have a beautiful flatbed machine, but like to do onesies and you have some projects that you dread doing on your flatbed machine, this is worth it just for the fact that it has a free arm. Even though it only has that 4x4 hoop, the free arm makes life so much easier. So if you do a lot of onesies, it's worth it just for onesies. But I think it's great for beginners. I can see Abigail using this, especially like teenagers that are much better with technology and all the apps and the phones and the iPads and stuff. Like I see them whizzing through this like with no trouble. So I think this is a great starter machine as well. Like I said, though, I really hope they come out with a 5x7 version, though. All right. Okay. So Jill's talking about the sleeve on the sweatshirt. I think it can be done, but I haven't tested it yet. So I'm going to try to play with that over Christmas break. And if I get it to work, I'll film it with my phone and I'll put it as a little short video on Facebook and YouTube and stuff. All right. So Linda Brooks is saying, please explain what a free arm is. So a free arm is this right here. The fact that we could put our shirt inside and not have to worry about turning the shirt inside out, that is what a free arm is. That's like making your bobbin located in a skinny piece. Whereas on a normal flatbed machine, like my machine's way over there, but here's a 4x4 hoop. In a normal flatbed machine, it's like this table. Let me put it where you can see it. your bobbin is on, like there's a little hole here in your table and your bobbin is here and your shirt's here. So that means I can't just put the hoop in the onesie like this and stitch, right? Then it would stitch the back of the shirt to the front. So it has to be where your onesie is pretty much inside out. And so that is on the hoop and you're doing this the whole time, like keeping it open so that the needle can get into it and stitch it without stitching all of this to itself. Does that make sense? Okay. But yeah, that's the beauty of a free arm. Once you start playing with it, if you've ever gotten a small flatbed machine, you'll realize right away like when a free arm would be helpful. And it's onesies, it's bags. Where's that little bag I had earlier? I think we can do some initials on stockings. So like we can put the free arm inside the stocking and stitch, an initial or a monogram. I could put the free arm inside the bag and stitch on the bag without having to turn it all inside out. So lots of advantages that you have with it, definitely. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go. This has been like the longest show. I need to go eat lunch. Actually, it's time to go get Elise off the school bus. So this is perfect timing to go. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, I got to be a YouTuber now. Please hit the thumbs up button and the bell notification so that the subscribe button so that you will get notified whenever I do more videos. And if you're not already on my email newsletter, that's the best way to like find out what's going on and when I'm doing tutorials, because I try to plan things ahead of time, but sometimes I'm just last minute and I'm like, okay, we're going to do a live tomorrow. And so I have all of that in my email newsletter, along with like when sales are happening or embroidery tips, all kinds of stuff. I like to put in there and I send it out once a week. So if you'd like to sign up for that, just click the link down below. And then if you want to get notified when my Embrilliance Essentials course comes out, get on that wait list so that you will get emailed when it comes out. But if this is the last time I talk to y'all, I hope you have very happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the things. And I hope you get to give some handmade gifts to your family and friends. I know that they will love them, whatever you get to make for them. And then I hope Santa brings you some nice things under the Christmas tree to go in your craft room. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. And I will see y'all next time, or maybe next year. Bye.